It's Wednesday, April the 13th, King of the Mountain State Show, presented by the Dutch Miller Auto Group. I'm Chase Hill, and today I'm with the Golden Boy, Mitchell Reynolds. He had a big year for us last year, super successful, carried a lot of momentum into this year's tournament. Some think the odds-on favorite may be to win the whole thing. Mitchell, man, thanks for sitting down talking with me again.
Yes, sir, Chase. Thanks for having me again.
All right, man. So catch us up. The last time we saw you, we were coming out of last year's tournament. Some good things going there with Gary Wolf at the Wolf Boxing Gym in Parkersburg. Catch us up to speed. What kind of camp have you been having?
Oh, yes, sir. Last year when we were getting into the tournament, I was kind of just getting with Gary. So, um, obviously, there's a transition period when you get a new coach and learning their system and their type of stuff. And I guess not really changing things up, but I was learning a lot, and it was a lot to take on for those first couple fights. Now we've had 4 months off with no fights and able to relax a little bit and really catch on to some of the stuff. And I think this has been the most progression I've had in my boxing career. Definitely the most consistent I've been 4 months, not missed more than really 2 days a week in the gym for 4 months straight. And it's been a great camp.
So we did. We came out of last year's tournament. Some guys hadn't fought for a long time. Some were new to it. Some were in and out of the gym. But after last year's tournament, we wanted to give a few months for everybody to kind of take a deep breath, really get themselves in the right gyms with the right coaches and focus in. I think the product this year is a little bit better. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be showing some guys that's now spent a year getting ready for this as opposed to a month or two before it started last year. One thing about your coach, man, he loves boxing. Like, he just loves boxing. Every time I call him, whether it's a business call, it's a personal call, whatever, the first thing he wants to tell me and the last thing he wants to tell me is what happened in the gym that day. He loves it. And I'm sure it's easy to train with a coach who you can tell he's not there because of gym fees. He's not there because he doesn't have nothing else to do. He's there with you every day because he loves working with you guys.
Yes, sir. And we're in there for sometimes 2-3 hours at minimum when we're training. He's a perfectionist, so if I throw a jab and I don't throw it 100% exactly right, we're going back over that punch 6, 7 more times. So like you said, he loves boxing, he loves the sport. He's a perfectionist, so everything we're doing is getting to where we're almost perfect with it. So we're working on every little detail to continue to be the best we can be.
And think how much better going into this year your sparring partners are. I mean, the people that's in and out of that gym now, you couldn't ask for anything better in West Virginia. You didn't have that last year. I'm sure that's a big help.
Yes, sir. Well, before Arthur, the fight with Arthur, I didn't have any sparring really because I sparred with Dustin one time, and within the first minute of the first round, I got a big cut on my eyebrow. So that put me out of sparring for the next 3 or 4 weeks. I had to get stitches, give that time to recover. So I didn't have any sparring for that fight. And then the fight with Keenan, I didn't have nearly as much sparring. Definitely didn't have Dustin Eckert sparring, or Zach. Zach wasn't coming down as much to spar with us, and I think I might have sparred with him once before that fight. But now we're doing almost every weekend. Zach Randolph is coming down. Dustin's coming in. Obviously, Derek's in there, and then we
And
got
it's a better Derek Gibson. It's a different Derek Gibson. The Derek Gibson that was sparring with you last year is not the Derek Gibson that's sparring with you this year.
no, not at all. Derek is hard to deal with, and he presents all sorts of problems for anybody, especially at that size. He's going to be a problem because he's fast. He sees punches coming, and he's countering back.
Yeah, super athletic to be that big, and this is his time. I think he's putting it all together now. You learn a lot from last year's tournament. You have a real deal coach. You spent time with him. You're invested into this. This is something you want to do long term. But our short term goal is this tournament, the 2022 King of the Mountain State. You're against the best that we can find in the surrounding area, right out of the gates. The Sandman, Justin Sampson, and Mitchell Reynolds. Probably the best amateur matchup skilled boxers that I've ever had in the amateur ranks. I know Gary and Matt Adams was an awesome fight, but they're not quite the boxers that you guys are. We put it main event, amateur main event. I mean, there's only one fight behind you. You're going to get a taste for what it's like when there's 17 fights and you got to sit there for 15 of them and keep your mind right. But you've earned it. Sandman's earned it. You guys are awesome. Tell me talk a little bit about that fight. That's a big one to start it.
Yes, this is probably the latest I've ever fought on a card. So it'll be a little different having to sit around and wait for learn when to get ready, when to wrap my hands. But good thing is I have a very seasoned professional boxer coach that's main evented a couple things in his life. So I'm sure he'll have a game plan for me on fight night. And yeah, like I said, it's going to be a great fight. I'd say. I mean, one of my most challenging fights to date, and he's got a bunch of experience. I think almost 40 amateur fights before he was 14, and then he's obviously had a little bit of time off. But it sounds like he's been in the gym. He's getting ready. So that's what I want because he's going to get the best Mitchell Reynolds. I hope I'm getting the best Justin Sampson.
Well, and so our tournament, we created to try to get you guys ready for the pros. There's nobody better for you to fight to get ready for real pro boxing than Justin Sampson. And same for him. I told him, basically you guys come out of this, you're going to have a little bit of a chip, a little bit of a target on you, a little bit of a bullseye, because whoever wins this matchup might kind of be presumed to be the guy that has to be beat in order to win this thing. Awesome fight. Absolutely awesome. I know he's had a good camp. He presents some issues. He's 6'3". He's long.
Right.
He's a boxer. He's not a brawler. I know he's not scared to sit there and exchange, but he's going to try to box. You're going to box. I've said it multiple times so far. This is a chance for the people down in the coal fields to see what real boxing looks like. And I think they're going to love your all's fight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tell me about your dad. He's a big supporter. I know he's already got his tickets and stuff. He loves watching you go through this. You getting support at home there with him and the friends and family and everybody. They pushing you to do this year?
Yes, sir. My dad, he's definitely my number one supporter. If you look at the Facebook comments, he's always the first one to comment as soon as he sees my name tagged. And then I know Justin's dad's the same way because he's been really respectful to us on there Facebook in the comments. There were some people went back and forth and everything, but I try to keep everything. I try to zone all that out. But yeah, it's interesting. And he's obviously got a good support system. I got one of the best support systems I could imagine. And I'm sure it'll be exciting in the crowd on Saturday night as well.
Hey, and those people down there, that's my hometown. They're a rough and exciting, awesome. They love fights. They love it. It don't matter if it's at school, if it's in an alley, they love it. And we got the Boone County boy Brandon Boggs. He's headlining the event. He'll be the only fight after you. If the crowd shows up that we think's going to, this should be one of the more intense environments that you've been in a real fight. And it should be pretty exciting. I know you get a lot of support online too, and it's well deserved. Talk to me about you're juggling you're a policeman there. You're juggling that. You've had a good camp. You have found time to get in there like you wanted to, right?
Oh yeah, I've had plenty of time because, like I said, I'm working. Or I said in the prior interview, I'm working midnights now, so I get off at 6 a.m., get a little bit of sleep, and then I got my whole day before I go back to work at 10 p.m. So I'm usually I hit the gym with my girlfriend or whatever, and I'll do some abs and some core and maybe a little bit of a strength workout. I've kind of let off on the weightlifting for the last couple of weeks, but and then I'll go for a run, and then I'll go ahead to the Wolf Boxing Gym, and I'll get a boxing workout for 2 hours. So I've had plenty of time. This is as prepared as I've ever been for a fight, as great a shape as I've ever been in my life, I'd say.
It's been 4 months since you've been in the ring, but it's only 4 days until you get back in the ring. So this is coming up this Saturday night down in Madison, West Virginia in Boone County, round 1 of the 2022 King of the Mountain State. We got 3 weight classes this year. You're fighting 8 pounds less than you fought last year. So anytime you're going down like that, I think plays into your advantage. I think someday in the pros, you'll probably be a 160, 168, something like that. Hey man, you've earned this spot. You're the amateur main event. It's a big event. We couldn't be any more excited for it. I'm glad that you're doing this. Give me some shout outs. I know there's people there helping you get to this point.
Yeah, shout out my whole gym, the Wolf Boxing Gym, Dustin Eckert, Derek Gibson, Corey Stewart in there consistently, Ben Wolf, and then Coach Gary, always been riding us to get better. And then obviously my dad, my family, friends, girlfriends always supporting me to be in the gym and continue to work hard and get ready for this fight. I just appreciate all of them, and I can't wait to see them all out there Saturday night.
Man, I tell my kids all the time, if you do your homework, the test is easy and it's fun. And boxing is a great example of that. You've had 4 months to perfect everything that you wanted to get better at. We know you've still got a lot more growing to do. You're going to continue to become a better fighter every year, but you've now had time and you've put it in and took advantage of that time where some guys didn't. And I think it shows up Saturday with one of your best performances that you've had to date.
I think so too.
All right, man. It's going to be exciting. Thank you for sitting down with me. I'll see you here in just a few days. Amateur main event, Saturday night, Madison, West Virginia, Mitchell Reynolds, Justin, the Sandman Sampson. It's time to go to work, man. Thanks for sitting down and talking to me.
Yes, sir.